Namaste, Vanakkam. So we'll just maintain few seconds of quietude deep in our hearts, offering this next 45 minutes at the feet of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Today, like Shiv Kumarji has told, we will explore different quotations of Mother and Sri Aurobindo, some lines of Savitri, how to make our life beautiful, the path, the sunlit path that we need to travel, how to know that yes, it's the sunlit path and Mother Sri Aurobindo are holding us. We are inside them. Wherever they walk, we are also walking. It's a beautiful journey for all of us. So we'll begin with some lines of Savitri. A sudden bliss shall run through every limb, and nature with a mightier presence fill. Thus shall the earth open to divinity, and common natures feel the wide uplift, illumine common acts with the Spirit's ray, and meet the deity in common things. Nature shall live to manifest secret God. The Spirit shall take up the human play. The Spirit shall take up the human play. This earthly life become the life divine. This earthly life become the life divine. So Mother and Sri Aurobindo are telling us in common things, in day-to-day things, how that secret divine comes out. He takes up this human play. The earthly life shall become the life divine. Once one of the sadhaks asked the mother, Mother, give me some work. And we all know Mother and Sri Aurobindo, like other traditions, they wouldn't give an initiating mantra. That mantra here in our ashram is through work. But to this one person, it was Dara. Mother said, just try to be happy. Be happy always. This is your work. Then he was very overjoyed. I don't need to go to any department, do anything, interact with so many people. And he tried that for 2 days in common, simple things. Try to get that joy, just that pure joy, that pure happiness. Then he came back to the mother and he said, Mother, I tried. This work is very difficult. I thought it was easy, but this is not coming naturally. To another sadhak, to Nirodha, one of the early days of his sadhana, once he went and asked the mother, Mother asked him, Nirod, what do you really want? So Nirodha says, Mother, what I really want is Ananda. Then mother said, you're asked for something very difficult. This is not very easy. Then the very next day, Nirodha was walking, just staring at the grand blue sky. Suddenly he was engulfed with this overflowing Ananda. Everything was vibrant with Ananda. His small human structure couldn't handle that. He was so overwhelmed by that Ananda. Then he wanted to do something, he wanted to express this experience somehow. And he sat down and started writing poetry. The moment he did that, this whole experience vanished. So it is, again, the mind is coming. I have to capture this experience, I have to put it in words, I have to tell fellow sadhaks. So many things may be coming. And Sri Aurobindo, so many places in Savitri, he talks about that bliss is at the root of everything. Root of creation is bliss. Bliss is the secret of existence, something to that extent. So mother gave him that taste, but we are not able to sustain that for a long time. In Life Divine also Sri Aurobindo says somewhere, when you have the glimpses of the higher regions, we have to get it in us, try to make it that permanent state. Also, I'm sure many of us, the very first interaction with Mother Sri Aurobindo, how they came into our life, there would be this wave of joy and ananda, the pure bhakti, the gratitude, everything flowing. If we could just, then the moments that we are not feeling, we are somehow carried by the raw nature, just think for a few seconds that moment when we are called, and so many experiences we have had with them, how with our own human personal effort we couldn't surpass them, but there was a divine hand guiding, and what we expect, something more beautiful came about. So once a sadhak was asking the mother, please help me to get out of all stupidity, bad feelings, all sorts of ignorance. I want to love you most sincerely and grow beautiful. Make my aspiration strong, firm, everlasting. I want to love you most sincerely and grow beautiful. Make my aspiration strong, firm, and everlasting. My sweet mother, please pull me out from all the dust. Clean me thoroughly. I want to remain always with you and be like you, beautiful and sweet. Clean me thoroughly. I want to remain always with you and be like you, beautiful and sweet. Mother's reply, good. Be sincere in your aspiration, and everything will be all right. Be sincere in your aspiration, and everything will be all right. Blessings. Here again, Mother is not saying, do this tapasya, chant my name a lakh times or any of that. Just be sincere in your aspiration. All that you want, ask me sincerely. Then everything will be in its place. Everything will be all right. So beautifully she's saying. In another place, when describing aspiration, I think Mother is saying, like, I'm not seeing how you're doing the sadhana, how you're doing your work. I'm just seeing the sincerity in your aspiration, sincerity in your soul's aspiration. Sometimes we may beat ourselves. No, we are doing Mother's work. We have to maintain that kind of perfection. Yes, it is beautiful. Whatever you're doing, try to give your best effort, and because it's an offering to them, you want the offering to be beautiful. At the same time, don't do it with that urgency, that impatience. Try and do it with that connection with the soul, connection with the true aspiration, and do it. I think in connection to Amal, not sure which person now. So he used to sometimes do this embroidery, and he showed it to the mother, and she saw, and one particular part she pointed out. She said, "This part has come very beautifully in every stitch. Every stitch you have consecrated, you have taken my name in every stitch. Maybe outwardly that was not so beautiful. Maybe the other parts which he just mindlessly did was probably beautiful. But she pointed out that this part is extremely beautiful because it's done with that pure love and devotion and consecration." And even my mother used to say that when she sees people, she wouldn't see obviously from the outer nature, from what you're doing, where you're worked, your physical appearance, or anything of that sort. She would say, I look straight into the eyes of the soul. The eyes are the windows to the soul. I look straight into that aspiration, into that love, into that seeking. So many times in early days of ashram, so many people would send their photos, and mother used to see just through the photos, she would know that aspiration. She'll know the past, present, future of that person. And I think one of the balcony darshans one time, so mother saw this one person and she referred to his name in his past birth. Or sometimes she'll refer to the name in his future birth. So the divine's wide gaze knows everything. We cannot fool him. Just that flame of aspiration should be always burning bright. Just offer, be at their service. Once Nirod, in a conversation with Nirodha and Sri Aurobindo, said, Nirod is not my doctor. He is here to be at my service. We all know what a beautiful relationship they shared. And once mother had a vision, Sri Aurobindo and Nirodha as small babies playing together. He was very high evolved soul to come and be at the service, direct service of Sri Aurobindo. Again, another place, mother saying, this joy is always there, pure, beautiful, luminous, ready to seize and envelop us if we do not shut the door of our consciousness to it. This joy is always there, pure, beautiful, luminous, ready to seize and envelop us if we do not shut the door of our consciousness to it. This joy is there. Like Sri Aurobindo is saying, the bliss is there at the root of everything. Our job is to connect to that. And doing everything from that state of that joy and love, everything will be smooth. And in one place she says, grace is pouring, my child. Grace is always there, and it is something incalculable. No, I did this, grace did this. No. It would take like a small ant and evolve it, if it had jumped so many births also. So it doesn't really go according to that calculation, right? It's a mysterious thing. But she says, grace is there, grace is pouring, but people withdraw from the grace. My children withdraw from the grace. One day when it was pouring heavily in ashram, so mother sees from her window everybody is holding umbrellas. Then she says, this is how the humans are. And the grace is pouring, they're not able to receive it. Then she says, the moment we begin to think of ourselves and watch ourselves live, our joy loses its intensity. And the more we concentrate on ourselves, the joy itself gets lost. The more we concentrate on ourselves, the joy itself gets lost. Mother says somewhere that depression is actually the cause of an acute ego. It is always directed to ourselves. I'm not happy. I'm not able to do things in this way. The situations around me are bad. It's again me in question all the time. Recently, I was listening to one of Alok Das talks, and he says, if you could just change that me attitude and just replace that E with A, ma. Even a cow, he would say very jokingly, would know no to. So naturally, it says ma every time. So natural. And for us being mothers, children, that should be so natural. Aurobindo, he says somewhere. So we have to base our life on this ideal of the true, the good, and the beautiful. The true, the good, and the beautiful. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. The next few sections are basically Mother will give us small methods or guidance as to how to go towards, how to make moment to moment beautiful, how to really live in that sunlit path. One place she says, it's good to tell oneself stories, telling stories to oneself. It's not telling it in your head, also feeling it, knowing the truth behind that story, telling beautiful stories. So she says when she was young, so she used to do this a lot. She would visualize, imagine, and make up these beautiful scenarios, beautiful stories. And she says the story should be beautiful, harmonious, powerful, well coordinated. Somewhere you're creating the formations. You're calling that higher destiny down, creating formations around yourself, and this vital world is full of forms. So she said, I used to do this a lot when I was a child. And her father used to call her, come, let's go to the circus. But she would say, I'm doing something very interesting and adventurous. So this is more interesting for me than coming with you to the circus. Like that. We also know of some of the stories, like how her mother's physical mother, should always expect a lot of perfection in the smallest of the things, where things to be needs to be kept. One day mother recalls, so they had come home late after some program, and immediately both mother and her brother, they just went to bed and just slept. And they just threw their clothes or something, just slept. Mother, Matilda, mother's mother, she woke them up late into the night. They're already so tired and they've slept. She wakes them up and makes them get up and arrange their clothes and then go back to sleep. And while recollecting this, mother is saying, my mother, she wanted the most idealistic children, children to hold highest values, like that. And mother says, right, it was a very interesting activity for her to make up these stories. And she used to have a small chair, as a 5-year-old little mother. She used to sit on that chair and she'll go deep into concentration. She'll be, traveling high up in the consciousness. We also know when she was 13 years old, how every night she would go high above the earth, like over the cities. And her gown would spread, collect everybody, all creatures under that umbrella of love. And she would say when people used to touch that, they would feel such a relief, such a joy, and they go back into their bodies so contented and happy. So one of those occasions, maybe mother was much younger, 5 years. So she was sitting, and the mother's mother asked her, "Why are you sitting like the whole world's burden is on your head?" And mother sweetly replies, very honestly, "Yes, yes, I feel the whole world's burden is on me." See how that's how conscious mother was of her divinity. And Sri Aurobindo says mother was conscious and Meera was free. She knew that she is the divine. She holds that power to hold everything else. She's, after all, the mother, mother of the universes, mother of humanity, mother of all creatures. The next section. Then she says, she talks about the parts of our being. She says every part is always fighting with each other. The mind would say something, the heart would say something, the body would feel tired, lethargic, the vital is energetic, wants to do some particular task, but the body is not helping. So there are always conflicts. She said, she says all of these parts should be united. Even here again, she's using that similar method. She says, project yourself on a screen. Note down self observation. Note down your feelings, what your thoughts are saying, what your body is saying. Project yourself on the screen and see all that is moving there and how it moves and what happens. You make a little diagram, it becomes so interesting. And then after a while, when you're quite accustomed to seeing, you can go one step further and take a decision. So once you know clearly how the parts of the being are acting, you've projected them, it is not all muddled up somewhere, you have it clear in front of you. So then you can take the decision, big situation, small situation, however it is, through these small techniques of self-observation, knowing what is telling, knowing ourselves, that being conscious is, that's what it is, right? No, not just like a car where the steering wheel is broken. It's going to take you in some haphazard directions. So if you can control that, if you can look, take, her mother always says, take a step back. In that taking a step back, see everything, project what is going on, project what is happening inside to the outside, see it clearly like that. You organize, arrange, take up all that, put each thing in its place, organize in such a way that you begin to have a straight movement with an inner being, with an inner meaning. Then she says, these are a conversation she's had, the interview Surendranath Jauhar ji had with the mother, and many of you would have heard it. If you're not heard, please search New the Mother in YouTube. You will get it. It's a very beautiful 20-minute conversation with Mother and Surendranath Jauhar ji, who started the Delhi ashram, who's Tarabi's father. So I'm just going to read how beautifully Mother says, and she's given the title, the compiler has given is The Only Remedy. The Only Remedy. You see, in the present condition of the world, circumstances are always difficult. The whole world is in a condition of strife, conflict between the forces of truth and light wanting to manifest and the opposition of all that does not want to change, which represents in the past what is fixed, hardened, and refuses to go. There's always a fight going on. of the forces which are full of truth and light, and the other forces which are stuck to the past, fixed, hardened, refuses to go. There is only one way for you. It is a total, complete, and unconditional surrender. The only remedy, right? That is unconditional surrender. What I mean by that is the giving up not only of your actions, work, ambitions, but also of all your feelings, in the sense that all that you do, all that you are, is exclusively for the divine. All that you do, all that you are, is exclusively for the divine. Apart from giving, offering your work, actions, ambitions, your feelings, your sense, all that you are, all that you do is exclusively for the divine. So, you feel above the surrounding human reactions, not only above them, but protected from them by the wall of the divine's grace. When you are in that state of surrender, when you know that Mother is working, that she is the doer, and you are allowing her to function and to use whatever instrument she has created, you feel above the surrounding human reactions, not only above them, but protected from them by the wall of the divine's grace. Once you have no more desires, no more attachments, once you have given up all necessity of receiving a reward from human beings, whoever they are, knowing that the only reward that is worth getting is the one that comes from the Supreme, and that never fails. Only reward that is worth getting is the one that comes from the Supreme, and that never fails. That reward which Nirodha got, the downpour of Ananda, direct from the Mother. We know very clearly, we know the quality. It's coming from the divine or it's coming from other forces. Once you give up all the attachment to all exterior beings and things, you at once feel in your heart this presence, this force, this grace that is always with you. You at once feel in your heart this presence, this force, this grace that is always with you. So the Mother is always with us. The part of the whole of the Divine Mother is situated in our deep in our heart, that Angushta Matra Purusha, which is described as our psychic being. It's Mother, the whole Mother is there, taken that form and sitting. She's so close, so accessible. Now I'm reminded about one of the anecdotes with Amritada. So there was a reading, and there's something like, where is the divine? How far is the divine? Something to that extent. And Amritada was slightly away from the Mother. He takes 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, 15 steps, goes to the Mother, and he says, 15 steps, Mother. The divine is 15 steps away from me. And Mother is told that I am seated right in your heart. We don't even need to take those 15 steps. Then Surendranath Ji is asking her, but where to get such a strength? Yes, you're saying it's all great. The divine grace is there, wall of protection, no more desires, no more attachment. How to do all this? Where to get such a strength? Within you. The divine presence is in you. It is in you. You look for it outside, look inside. It is in you. The presence is there. The divine presence is in you. It is in you. You look for it outside, look inside. It is in you. The presence is there. You can also remember Draupadi when she was going through that Vastraharan. So the immediate call is to Krishna, but she's describing him, O Lord of the worlds, O Lord of the universes, your child is suffering, come, come. And there's no immediate response. Then she says after some time, Oh, the divine master, the teacher, the love, my beloved who's seated in my heart, come rescue me. So the divine is so close. Call him and he's there. Then the next section. And Mother talks about should have a clear purpose of life. Like she also says, no, an aimless life is a miserable life. Our aim should be vast, disinterested, all that. So we should have a purpose. And we are lucky for our purpose is Mother Sri Aurobindo. She's given that so easily for us. That we have a reason for existence and living. The justification of earthly existence is that one is on earth to realize the divine. The secret is to emerge from the ego, get out of its prison, unite ourselves with the divine, merge into Him, not to allow anything to separate us from Him, not to allow anything to separate us from Him. We have to fight against our human nature with its inertia, heaviness, laziness, easy satisfactions. Fight against this. Again, she says, no, the battle of the forces of the truth and the forces of falsehood. It's not just happening around us through wars and all that which we are witnessing these days. The battle is somewhere inside us. So we have to give more food to the forces of truth. So if she says, when how India will prosper, how can she be the guru of the world? So Mother is saying, each of you discover your psychic being. Each of you conduct yourself according to the truth, the right, the good. So you don't need to do some major external, big things. Each of you find your psychic being. With that, India and her children, everybody will be on that, the route to joy and the guru of the world that Sri Aurobindo has declared India to be. Once a sadhak, Ajarva, he's from England. So one of his friends had come down to meet him. So he was just observing the ashram life, very peaceful, quiet, everybody doing their own thing. Like, okay, for this you left everything and came here. What is such a big deal in all this? And he said, you don't know how every day is a battle with my ego to silence those forces. And Mother has said the play of ego is gone, it's dead. But sometimes we notice, when we light a candle or something, the time when it has to totally extinguish, that time the flame will be very big and then it goes down. So maybe it's the ego is also, that these forces are also at this peak. And because there's so much churning happening, the supramental light, the truth is embedded right now in the earth consciousness after 1956. So it's that churning, that cleaning. Mother talks somewhere, right? In the beginning, we were saying. So that lady girl asks, clean me of this dust, this impurity, and all. Yes, the divine is doing that. Divine is doing that. That's why we are seeing when we clean something, first thing is all the dirt and all the grime is going to come out, right? We will see that, which is natural. But we have to just see the beauty of our souls, Mother's love over there. Mother says again, right? My child, look always up to the heights, towards beauty, harmony, joy. Look there. Don't look at this ugliness and everything. Don't connect yourselves with that. And even there, we all know, I think 1959, the organ music of the mother. She says, I went deep down into the inconscient, most rigid. And there also she finds the seeds of the supramental light. So our divine mother, like the bliss, the joy, the divine is in everything seated there. She sees there also. The same context when the sports ground had to be built in the ashram, it was a dirty, filthy, like a dump yard, basically. It was a dump yard. And people worked for days together. Just one or two people actually took up the responsibility, and mother's force was with him so much, and the work got completed. So it is literally transforming that matter, and now we see what a flourishing, beautiful sports ground it is. All facilities. Even then, in the 50s, 60s, a swimming pool was unheard of, and we had like the best of the facilities there. So yes, we have to even penetrate deep in that darkness there, find light. But again, Sri Aurobindo says somewhere, but once you are on the psychic route, once you're on the sunlit path, it's joy, joy, joy forever. You don't need to go through. We are there. We are doing it. We are clearing the path for you. And we all know how much it's an autobiographical poem, right? What Sri Aurobindo wrote, God's Labor. It is his experiences. Every word is what Mother Sri Aurobindo have gone through, have gone deep into, the mire, the dirt, and filled so much of opposing forces and everything. I fought with them. One reason Sri Aurobindo had to withdraw is he thought it's better to act in a subtle world. We can bring in more receptivity on earth. Yeah, better to deal with these forces in the subtle world. So we are always fighting, but we have to stick to the light. We have to know at each moment, Mother Sri Aurobindo is walking with us. We are walking with them. And she says this concept of, this thing that basically once you acquire a wealth, once you acquire a certain position, that is your aim of life. And all. She's like, no, this is not the aim of life. It is like going downward. And after a particular age is when I'll turn to the divine. It's nothing like that. And mother never used to like this association with age also. When Nalanida was turning 80, they said, come, let's do a grand celebration for Nalanida. And she said, no, I don't want him to remember that he's old, or rather he's turning 80. He's my child forever. Once Nirodha on his 51st birthday goes to her and he says, oh, you're 51, but for me, you're still a child. You're an infant. Like that she used to say. So for mother, age was a number. It was just about having that will to progress and just acting with her name on our lips. Then she says about creating that harmonious collectivity. Knowing that, yes, we are a selected few on the divine path. And this setting, in whatever groups you call, in whatever satsangs and different names, we have our Aurobindo, our society, ashram, everything. There may be so many which we are not even aware of. So these collective groups, they have such an impact, on bringing down that consciousness. Somewhere it said these are, centers of light. So these places are ready to receive the light and which will slowly percolate into other people, other places as well. And Mother talks about the relationships, have a deeper meaning in relationships, our day-to-day relationships, our family, in work, everywhere. Then she says in one place, you have to, through me, you have to deal with the people. In case we have facing some hostile relationships around us, we also dealing with a few people may carry some negativity. If we are feeling anger or something like that. So imagine mother, like, say her light is mother is right in front of you and the other person. So if we have to deal with them, we are first seeing the mother and then that person behind. We wouldn't throw our anger and everything to the mother, right? So having to see her in everything, in our relationships and all of that. Mother says the contrary to it. Don't try to be a saint, my child. You tell me all your troubles, your challenges, and everything. After all, who is she? She's our mother. She knows us in and out, our evolution, our journey, our previous births, our next births. She knows everything. But it's always nice to have this in mind that how are we holding that truth of our being, and how are we acting with the world and act through the mother. Running out of time. Just our last part. Just read these lines. You simply have an aspiration within you, an urge, an intense, ardent need to find that which you conceive more or less clearly to be the truth of your being, the source of all things, the supreme good, the answer to all we desire, the solution to all our problems. If there is this intense need in you and you aspire to realize it, you won't any longer say to the divine, give me this, give me that, or I need this, I must have that. You will tell him, do what is necessary for me and lead me to the truth of my being. Give me what thou in thy supreme wisdom seest as the thing I need. Simply say, give me what is necessary for me. Lead me to the truth of my being. Give me what thou, in thy supreme wisdom, seest as the thing I need. We'll conclude now. Thank you so much.